For your listening information, this episode of the Nerdy Photographer Podcast features adult language and scenarios and situations. You've been warned, this episode is definitely not safe for work. Okay, but it seems closer than it was last time out back there. Oh, hey everybody. Casey here. Welcome to the Nerdy Photographer Podcast. If you're unfamiliar with the show, I provide fun and informative photography-related information while I also go on adventures with the crew of the Starship Fibonacci. They're my hashtag nerdy photo crew. At the moment, I've been noticing that there's an asteroid that appears to be following us. Every time we look away, it gets closer and closer. At first, I thought it was the observer, but I don't see his oversized head around here anywhere. On this episode of the podcast, we're kicking off spooky season here on the Nerdy Photographer. And in this episode, I'm joined by Josh from the For Nerds by Nerds podcast to do some commentary on the 2002 Robin Williams photography-related film, 1 Hour Photo. If you've never seen this movie, I highly recommend that you watch it. Josh and I delve into why this film is just so creepy, and perhaps that is why it was not a commercial success despite being loved by critics. Cue the movie up and listen to us riff on cameras, film processing, and what a different world it is when this film came out right after the break. Yep, it still looks like it's getting closer.
I'm Lindsay Valenti.
And I'm Madison Stengel.
And we're the hosts of Ye Old Crime, where we discuss the funny,
hey man, he's a nice guy. And they're like, no, he's disgusting. He has hooves.
Strange. There are EVPs of spirits saying, get out, in a room where patients committed suicide, and obscure crimes of yesteryear.
Here, Justin, here's your first phallic amulet.
Join us Wednesdays, wherever you listen to podcasts, and we'll see you next time with another tale
as old as crime.
Hey there. Do you photograph people, families, couples, weddings? Are you tired of using the same boring, static poses over and over again? Try the Nerdy Photographer's Let's Be Real Unposed photography prompts to get your subjects engaged with you and with each other. I developed these over 20 years and thousands of photo shoots. These prompts will help you capture dynamic, natural photos of your clients. And right now, you can save 25% on any of our prompt backs with the code POD25P. That's all uppercase, POD 25P. Stop posing and start prompting. Hello and welcome to the Nerdy Photographer Podcast. I am joined today in our spooky season specials here with Josh from the For Nerds by Nerds podcast.
Hey,
welcome, Josh.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here.
And today we're going to be watching a super creepy movie. It is 1 Hour Photo starring Robin Williams. Now, this movie was by far the most popular when I asked around for creepy photography-related movies. Like every non-photographer picked this movie. There was a lot of feedback saying, I don't remember what the name of that movie with Robin Williams was, but that one.
Yeah, I saw that a lot. Somebody said that after somebody had already said 1 Hour Photo.
Yeah, we had on Twitter, there were several people who had mentioned it, and then there were several people who also mentioned, I can't remember the name of it, but it's that one with Robin Williams. Apart from that, we had, there were mentions mostly from photographers for Rear Window and Saw were the two that were the most popular outside of this, which, so, who knows, maybe someday in the future.
Hell yeah.
We'll have to get those going.
Absolutely.
So, how long has it been since you've seen this movie?
Oh, it's been a while. Over a decade.
I have not seen it since it came out because it really creeped me out.
It is super creepy, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So, are you ready to go and get this party started?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
All right. So count it down.
Yep.
And for those of you watching along for the commentary at home, we're watching this on HBO Max or wherever you're watching. We're going to start it in 3, 2, 1. HBO.
Yeah, I don't feel like I've seen that on any of the other things on the app.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. I am drinking a beer because I really need one. Today has it's been one of those weeks.
I'm drinking a water because I never drink enough water, so I can't drink beer anymore because I'm never hydrated.
I brought water as well, so I've got one of each. This opening, though, I do remember this opening. This is very... I don't know how familiar you are with film development, but this is like being in a, like, it obviously goes with the mood, but this is really evocative.
Yeah.
For anybody who's ever developed film or, been in a film lab. This is like, you're immediately placed in, where you're going to be.
It's always a little different in the movies when they have it being somebody that works at like a 1 hour photo at a mall or a Walmart or something like that. And it's like, there's never like this huge like black room and shit. It's like little boxes that you do all your work in.
Right. And it's like, when I was in college and we were developing film and stuff, is using a dark room. Like it's totally, totally different. And yeah. Man, Robin Williams looks creepy as hell in this movie.
It is insane that he didn't do like a lot more serious roles because he is an incredible serious actor.
Yeah, and I think that the issue mostly is that because this wasn't a huge success because people were so creeped out by him in this movie, and I think maybe that's why. Like his more serious stuff tended to be more of a hero role, and this is such a great shot coming into the questioning room.
Because he did like a 2-part run on Law and Order where he played like a serial killer and he was super creepy. And then he's great in Good Will Hunting.
Yeah. I mean, and there were other stuff like, What Dreams May Come was all right, but like he did serious stuff.
I do like that movie a lot. He did, what was that first Christopher Nolan movie?
Ooh, hey, Eric LaSalle.
I fucking love Eric LaSalle. I forgot he was in here. Was Insomnia with Al Pacino. Yeah.
Yep. Insomnia, which is, again, he's sort of like it's very serious stuff, but like, I don't know. I guess neither one of those movies did really well, though. Like this and Insomnia did not do well. And I think it's because people were, not that Robin Williams wasn't good. It was that people were creeped out and didn't want to be creeped out by Robin Williams.
Well, at least this is more like an indie, like low budget movie.
Yeah, this is not intended to be a big blockbuster type of thing. That camera she's using, and I think that they talk about it later, is like that Leica point and shoot is like super pricey. Like these people who are using she's using like a designer camera for like these
and 5 short years later everybody was using their cell phones.
Yes. Yeah, I mean it's so weird. I think that one of the things I know that one of the things I wanted to discuss is like, I guess this concept of like the 1 hour photo being such a part of people's lives in getting film developed is not the case anymore. I mean, like people still get, prints made at, wherever sometimes.
Jesus. Fucking people.
That's a whole other topic to discuss, but people don't know their photo developer quite as intimately as they did.
Yeah, I mean, I used to work at Walmart, and I worked in electronics, and so you're right there with the 1 hour photo people, and that's like not even a thing anymore.
Is this game he's playing? Do you remember what game that is? Is he playing Mortal Kombat?
It looked like Tekken or Virtua Fighter, but low rent shit. That's definitely real. I've used one of those machines before.
Yeah, negative cutter. And keep me. Oh
yeah, look at the size of this thing. At the time at Walmart, this was like a booth, and this is a giant. This is like
Anywhere now, it's a kiosk.
Yeah, this is like the obstetrician center at a Walmart. It's enormous.
Jeez. The fact that he has their address memorized should be red flag.
Yeah, how often are you getting pictures? Jesus.
Hey, look. Yeah, this camera's very nice. It's probably about $2,000 that you're, and you're using it to shoot
birthday parties.
You're like prints, your little snapshots and stuff. Ooh. And I believe this is where Robin Williams invents the selfie. Yep. Boop, boop. I'm not creepy at all.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable waiting. And that's Connie Nielsen from Gladiator and what else has she been in? I don't remember. How old is he? 9? Not that I don't know.
The amount of photos you would be developing, like he would probably have this infatuation with numerous people if he was this creepy.
That's the thing. It's like, is this the only family that he is obsessed with? Is this, or I mean, we don't see that, but is this the first time? I guess would be my question that I'm asking myself. Like, has he done this before, or he's just latched onto this particular family? Is it the hair that makes it especially weird?
I mean, the hair doesn't help.
Yes, Yoshi, I made a mistake. Dun, dun. And he makes so many little subtle choices that are so good.
I'm having flashbacks with all the stuff he's doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and this thing, I think this is why photographers, feel this, like, when you rush into, when your house is burning down, what's the first thing you want to save other than your family or your pet? It's your family photos. This stuff is, how seriously he takes his job.
That he definitely at this time made like $10 an hour to do.
Right. Like he's not, he's not making a ton of money off it, but he's like very serious to him. Doesn't he get in a fight with somebody about this later?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does.
Yeah, just the amount of like color balancing and that he's doing is just, it's not just that he's obsessed with, and he's not just obsessed with like the color quality just for them. It's, everybody, but he's just especially obsessed with them. Like right now, when I'm watching this and like seeing him talk about like the quality of the prints, just makes me think of like when, people started like going digital initially with photography and like getting like people started printing stuff at home on like the inkjet printers, and it would just look terrible.
Yeah, yeah. It like saturates into the paper.
Yeah, and it's just like it'd fade in like 2 weeks. I did them as 5x7s. They're more expensive, but that's not what I wanted. I didn't charge any extra. I'm trying to do something nice for you. Don't make me kill you.
3060.
For 2 rolls of film? Yeah, I guess it's developing and prints. Yeah.
And he's just taking it upon himself. $30 even. $30. I'll lose that 6 cents. It's like you work for a corporation.
Right.
It's not how it works. You don't work at a mom and pop store.
This is not your photo store. This is like somebody else's. Oh man. I remember him reading the Deepak Chopra book later in the movie. I didn't realize he saw it in her bag.
Yeah, I was thinking, I just had a long drive home from where I was, and I was thinking about the ending of this movie, and I'm like, man, it's so fucked up.
even the walk he gives this character is just like,
yeah, everything about him is off-putting. And having worked in a store like this, I've worked with lots of people that are just like this guy.
Yeah, there's always somebody at every job. I worked in for a bank doing presentations and other stuff. There was a guy who came in as our manager who this character reminds me so much of because he had like blonde hair that was like so blonde that you could almost see through it.
Yeah.
He had a mustache, but you couldn't tell that he had a mustache.
That is creepy.
Yeah, and he wrote really horrible poetry, and he would always like bring in. He's like, "Oh, you know, does anybody want to read one of my poems?" And that's just how like,
That's a creepy sentence all in itself.
Yeah,
do you want to read one of my poems?
Would you like to read one of my poems? No, thanks. Yeah, now you have a photo of me in your house.
Like, and why was he like closing down the store?
Right. Why was he in the store until like while the guys were out there like doing the floors? And I'm imagining I'm part of this family.
With how creepy this movie is, it could have been even creepier too.
Yeah, he could.
He should be like torturing animals and like working his way up to actual victims.
But maybe that's what makes it even, I don't know, more unsettling. I think that we don't see that. Maybe that's what he was like when he was a kid. Who knows? And here I am claiming to be part of their family.
I got him a camera for his birthday.
Right. I gave him a freebie from the store that I work in. Elevating his level of connection to these people. This crack maybe symbolic? Do we think the crack in the windshield maybe has some symbolism to it? Oh.
Who directed this? Is it anyone that went on to be a big star?
Let me check.
Is it the same guy that did Phone Booth? Because for some reason, every time I thought of this, I kept thinking of Phone Booth. Yet another thing that came out around the same time that also doesn't exist now.
Oh yeah, we get to the house or his place. That first time we were in his apartment is really creepy. Oh, I feel bad for Cy. He seems real sad. Does he? Does he seem sad, or does he seem like he might want to murder you?
Seems overly nice, if anything.
Yeah. Mark Romanek is the writer and director. Let's see what else he's done. Never Let Me Go. Some Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake videos.
How do you
Shake It Off?
How do you go from making, like, he's having the reverse
Exactly.
career of most directors. How do you go from making a big movie like this that a lot of people talked about to making music videos?
Yeah. Well, I think maybe he started in. Oh, he did. Oh man, like there's a long list. We'll get into this, but this is one of my. I can't remember. All right, so yeah, let's say De La Soul.
Ooh.
En Vogue. He did En Vogue. Free Your Mind. He was actually the director. He directed Free Your Mind.
Hell yeah.
Lenny Kravitz. Are You Gonna Go My Way?
I love that song.
Morrissey. The More You Ignore Me, the Closer I Get.
Ooh.
Seems like maybe he should have been the soundtrack to this film.
We have the volume
Scream.
down. Maybe it
Michael
is.
Jackson and Janet Jackson. Scream.
Is that the one where they're on a spaceship?
Yep.
Yeah.
Devil's Haircut. Beck. Weezer. El Scorcho. Man, okay. This apartment, like this shot, everything is so clean.
White. Yeah.
it's such a, I mean, this is such a great choice.
Is that supposed to be like a camera thing too? Like it's everything's overexposed?
Maybe, or it's just like how like neurotic he is. Like everything is so clean. Like it's so sparse. There's one plate. There's one like dish. There's like, like he doesn't, there's nobody ever comes over there. It's really obvious. And also he just keeps everything impeccably clean. He's just so like, just looking at in like with that one shot, I could learn so much about that character. But it also has that sense of like, it's almost like a photo lab. It's almost exactly the same as his lab.
That's
like
true.
It's just the same colors, same feel to it. Feeding his hamster.
That might be the creepiest thing about him. 50-year-old man with a hamster.
It's entirely possible. Oh, yeah. The table of photos. Well, that's creepy, right? Michael Vartan of Alias fame.
Oh, is that what he's from? He does look familiar.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much the biggest thing he was in. May have been in some other stuff, but yeah, I do enjoy, like, he's talking about, like this, the new Mercedes, the washer dryer, your, camera that costs a shitload of money, that you use to take snapshots. You could have had just like a $100 point and shoot, but you had to have the Leica, didn't you?
This is always a thing in movies. Like, we're going to fight about finances when only one of us is working. It's like, if it's that big of a deal, right, why don't you go get a job as well?
Yeah, like, what's the big deal here? Like, you're an emotionally neglectful husband.
Like, you're clearly well enough off to be able to afford a babysitter, let alone the fact that your kid is old enough to be in school full time.
Yeah, and also, like, this house is, like, enormous. Like, I don't know where this is supposed to be set, but that is a gigantic house.
Yeah, rich white people land. That's how it always is in movies and TV shows. It'll be like, oh, we're just trying to make it by, and they live in like a $3.4 million house.
Yeah. Oh, it's like Friends. I'm out of work. I'm a chef, and I'm in this, 3-bedroom apartment in New York City that would probably cost like $4,000 a month when that movie was made, or when that show was on. Like, now it'd be crazy. Sinister music plays. I wonder why it's sinister music playing.
How you gonna make watching The Simpsons into something creepy?
This is how. This shot.
Jesus.
He's got floodlights up on them. Like, this is... And, how old is he? 9? I've been hoarding pictures of you from since you were pregnant. So this has been going on for 10 years.
And you haven't even filled up one wall? Come on now.
Yeah. You have to have taken more pictures than that.
If you're developing them that regularly, that this guy knows everything about you.
Which ones make the wall?
I guess.
This makes it seem like he's just putting everything up there, but he's got to be a little bit more choosy about that. He'd have to be. You'd think. Bum, bum, bum.
With his reaction to the events that take place later in this movie, he'd kill himself for today's. Well, I shouldn't say that because he did die. But
too soon, child.
With today's society, like the way people act today, he wouldn't be able to handle the pictures people take of themselves.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he gets into that a little bit.
This lady didn't take one nude picture for her husband?
Not one?
Over 10 years?
I'm looking at this guy. Like, this director really didn't make any other movies. Like, he does a couple of TV series and like maybe one other movie, but the rest of it is all like, he did Jay-Z's 99 Problems video. He did the Johnny Cash Hurt video.
That happens too, and it's so weird. Like the guy that made the first Blade, like that movie is amazingly shot, and he didn't make like anything else after that.
Here we go. Customers. Cat photos. All she takes is that nothing has changed in 20 years since this movie came out. People just taking pictures of their cats. Just cat photos. Insurance guy. New parents. Can't sleep. She looks familiar. The actress who plays the nurse.
Yeah.
I
know that guy.
That guy's isn't that the dean from Community?
Yes. Yeah, he plays a weirdo and everything.
The home pornographer. Just one set. I know you're making your own side.
Like they should be best friends.
Yeah. You think we're both creepy and oh yeah. He gets in the fight with the guy. Isn't that the boss from Justified?
I can't see him. He's moving too fast. Yeah, it is. He looks so much taller. Robin Williams must be short.
Well, it's because Timothy Oliphant's pretty tall.
That's true.
Gary Cole.
I love that guy.
He's in everything. Are you threatening me? And Robin Williams, like you see the little like, oh, I'm gonna make sure the little swinging door is shut so that he can't come through and get me. Whatever. Oops. Oh yeah. Whoops-a-daisy.
Yeah, he wouldn't not speak to him for that. He'd be like, get your ass out back.
He does. I think he does talk to him. Creepy stare.
I wish he was working at S-Mart from...
like Bruce Campbell just shows up in the background. Like,
hell of a day.
What's been going on with you, Sai? I've been fighting demons. I think you're fighting your own demons. Need a little talking to. Agfa. Man, they're not as big as they used to be. They made film, obviously printers, like all these like film companies. People get say like, oh, they don't make film anymore because they also switched to other things, like even Kodak and other film companies like made a transition. They had like all sorts of like imaging devices, not just making film. They would also do things for like medical imaging and like printing and photocopiers, all that stuff. They were making money doing other things.
Yeah, there's a lot of professions like that where people think they just do these like one very basic thing, and it's like no, they do like tons of different stuff.
Yeah, this company does way more than just one thing. So, Josh, I asked for photographers to submit some creepy stories or scary stories that things that had happened to them. Since this movie, there has some downtime, and I'm going to share a few of those with you. I got one here. A friend of mine told me a story of a woman who was solo backpacking in the Trinity Wilderness in California. It was an uneventful trip, and she never saw anyone else except at the trailhead. When she got home and developed her film, she fainted when she saw a picture of herself sleeping in her tent.
Oh, that is holy shit. That is creepy.
I'm pretty sure this one is an urban legend because I feel like I've heard this before, but also I thought that the responses that this one got were like, that would be so fucking creepy if that happened.
Yeah.
But the responses from other photographers when this got posted were like, interesting. And what settings did they use? It's pretty dark in a tent.
Yeah, you didn't wake up to a flash or anything.
Use a tripod. Well, and then somebody else was like, probably whipped out their flash and fired it over their shoulder with some CTO gels to balance it out. I mean, that gets a decent exposure without waking people up. So I'm told. Which I thought was the creepiest response anybody gave.
Professional photo shoot in their tent while they're sleeping.
And that's also like such a, like a creepy thing. Like I was thinking about, I had put together a list of like movies that are about photographers or where photography is prevalent. I didn't think about it, but Red Dragon actually has like, he takes pictures of the families while they're he finds them through their videos, like their home videos that they get developed or whatever. And then that he splices together. And then he goes and takes pictures of them sleeping. And then he takes pictures of them after he's killed them because they've transformed or whatever.
Yeah, you posted that GIF yesterday, and I was like, oh, yeah, Red Dragon does have photography in it. That movie's creepy as hell.
Yeah. Well, it's just like the fact that he's like showing, I think that was it's not so much in the Manhunter version with Brian Cox, where Brian Cox plays Hannibal Lecter. It's definitely the Rafe Fiennes one where you actually see the photos. Like he shows them to Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
He's like, see, they're becoming, and especially Evangelion. I've got decent taste.
I've never seen toys like that at Walmart.
Little did we know that this was whoever was working in the toy department here was a serious anime fan.
Nor should that age of a child be watching that show.
Yeah, I wonder this kid has some issues. What did you watch? What else do you like? Oh, I really love Akira. Kiss of the North Star. Not the live action version, definitely the anime. He's so cool.
Just put it down wherever, Robin Williams. That's what everyone else does.
Yeah. Nobody cares. There it goes. And here he is reading the Deepak Chopra book. See, with not having seen that in her bag, I was like, oh, so he's reading Deepak Chopra. I think that's a little ironic.
Yeah.
This fucking creepy dude is
searching for inner peace.
Yes. And I was like, oh, maybe that's a little weird.
See, this will stop my psychotic rage.
And the thing is, like, he's so creepy, but that what he says there is like, this stuff where he's saying like, the shutters clicked. This is your little stand against the flow of time. Like they've stopped time. This is a moment. And like, it does. It's like, especially for me as a photographer, like that is such an important thing. Like you're capturing these moments, and this stuff is like, this is, it's really hard to like not identify with that as a photographer. Then you're like, but he's a creepy stalker murder dude.
It's like proof that like you can take things and you can say them very nice and sweet and they mean a lot, or you can say the exact same thing and it sounds extremely creepy.
Yeah.
Who's just like selling cases of personal pictures? Really,
dude? Yeah, I've been to like people just collect this stuff. Like I've got an old I have a box of old negative, like glass negatives.
Yeah.
That, like they're just like the old cameras that used to take a glass plate. It would be exposed on instead of like a film negative. And I have, like a box of those. It's just like random whatevers, whatever that I found at a, flea market. I know you're out of town. I know you're out of town. I'm just going to go in your house.
See, again, this could be much creepier. A person like this in the real world would definitely be masturbating.
Yes. Probably. Well,
maybe once he got in the house.
Yeah. This guy, this guy would definitely bring something to clean it up.
Who doesn't lock their doors? They go on vacation.
Right. Like, there's obviously a lock right there. Does this mean there's no security system? with this, $4 million house, and but we don't believe in security at all.
Yeah, no cameras, no alarms, no guard dog outside.
If there was a guard dog, he would definitely have killed it.
Yeah.
He would have, like, poisoned it.
He'd be wearing its skin right now.
Wearing its head as a hat as he walks through the house. That's the reboot. We're gonna reboot 1 hour photo, and he's just like walking through their house naked with a dog's head on his
dick tucked back.
Yeah. Would you take pictures of me? I take pictures of me. And like the look on his face there, like, because we've seen how like clean and smart, like he loves this kid, but he's like, you got to clean up after yourself, man. That little look on his face of like when he saw the room, taking a shit in their house.
I want to see him like stumble upon photos that were developed at a different place. He like freaks the fuck out. It's my arch nemesis, Steve, from CVS.
I'm just going to wear your clothes and watch the Michigan State game. I didn't realize it was a Michigan State game. Interesting. Knows the dog. We do have a dog.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Dog don't give a shit.
He's like, this is the life. So much better than working at Walmart.
I can just live in somebody else's house. Oh, they're home. Bum, bum, bum.
How fucking creepy would that be?
Yeah. Like, I remember the first time, like, seeing that and being like, oh, shit, they caught him. Like, this is going to be, like, an explosive moment. All in his head. Which is why the door was unlocked, I guess. Yeah. Maybe he was masturbating in the car.
Yeah.
And
he just finished and snapped out of his drink.
when they came home, Dun, dun, dun. I feel like he's trying to make a connection with this woman, but it doesn't really happen.
Yeah, he's like, I don't do this much, but I was just very aroused by a daydream of being in a stranger's house. You want to get out of here?
Hey, you want to, I'll give you my number.
I got a wall full of photos that you'd love to see.
Mm-hmm. You look very, very familiar. I feel like I've seen your face before. Maybe in a photo that I've developed. All right, I got another creepy story. Well, Jake, I believe. Jake, isn't it the kid?
Yep, plays soccer.
Playing soccer while Robin Williams watches him play soccer. He was creepy. Like, honestly, this would be like number one. Like, the coach should be like, I'm calling the police.
Yeah, coach should be kicking the shit out of Robin Williams.
Yeah. Like, I got another story for you. So, here we go. The reason I got into photography was because I love hiking, going for long drives, doing landscape photography and astrophotography. One day I drove out for a few hours to a provincial park with a lake outside of the city. I feel safer with a large body of water nearby, but that's another story. Okay. Of course, this is close to summer and the sun doesn't set until 9 p.m., so by the time I get to the park, it's 10:30. I was the only one there, and the campground nearby looks empty. No fire pits or sounds of people camping. So I set up my rig, aligned for the poles, which is a thing you do when you're doing astrophotography. Like, you align for like a polar alignment.
Yep.
The whole shebang. I'm well underway with the session, and around midnight, when I hear something that sent shivers down my spine, I hear a basketball bouncing, and then it stops. I freeze, scanning the area, shine my flashlight around, nothing. Then again, basketball bouncing, and it stops. I'm the only one in the empty parking lot in a provincial park hours away from anywhere inhabited, with a large lake behind me. The sound was not coming from the lake. It was coming from the trees separating the parking lot and the highway. Again, I hear the basketball bouncing, and then it stops. I pack up my rig and get the fuck out of there. You know it's time to go when all of the animals stop making noises.
Yeah.
I think that story in of itself is well told because they left that till the end.
Yeah, that is probably the creepiest detail, but it's also very true.
Yeah, because if you're anywhere and like you're like out in nature and you hear like everything goes quiet, you're like, what the fuck? Oh. And back to the movie. I've got something for you.
And what? He's just not going to tell his parents, like, hey, the creepy guy from the fucking Shop and Save came down and bought me a toy.
Boom, boom, boom.
Showed up at my soccer game.
Yeah. Remember that guy that I was saying a little prayer for being lonely and sad? He is lonely and sad and fucking weird.
Yeah. Coach, let him walk me home.
I can't take this. Not because you're a weird stranger, but because my parents won't let me have it. Way to push your kids under the bus, kid.
Yeah.
Parents under the bus. I guess I said kid.
At least he knows the return policies.
Sai, this is the 15th time you've brought a children's toy back.
Yeah. What's going on here? He's going to stalk this one from a distance. Yeah.
I just happen to be going to the mall when you are. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Imagine that.
He just moves so creepily. He's like a middle-aged Pinocchio.
Yeah, like he really is. Like he's really put a lot of thought into how this guy moves. I was an actor, and like this is not how Robin Williams normally moves. Like you've seen Robin Williams 100 times doing stuff, and he's all like animated, and this is definitely a choice to be very creepy. Oh, I'm just gonna. Oh, hello. Oh no, you're on the phone.
Like I'd freak the fuck out. Like if you're just
if that was her, I would be like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Why do you want to sit next to me?" Cell phones exist, flip phone, but we don't have cameras.
Hi there, I noticed you in this extremely crowded mall.
I thought we'd run into each other because I'm stalking you.
I live downtown. Wow, that's quite a drive.
I figured we'd run into each other once you spotted me, like, following you. What a clever nickname, Sai the Photo Guy. Because my name is Sai, and I am also the photo guy.
You can tell he's never thought of that before.
Uncle Sai. Well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to be going now. Oh. The Path of Love.
Like, I'm reading that book.
I am reading that same book. I thought it was fucking terrible. How can you still be reading it? A lot about coincidence. It's such a coincidence that I keep running into you and your son in places that are not my workplace, which is the only really valid reason we have to know each other or see each other if you are not stalking me. I wouldn't say I'm a deep thinker. I'm more of a sociopath. Garden variety serial killer. You know.
It's like, you ever tortured animals in the woods? It's very invigorating.
I have a snapshot of my mother. Would you like to see her? So she does kind of look like him. Like, there's a little bit of a resemblance. Like he went through the photos and like, he did find somebody who like bore a resemblance. I don't know. Maybe that was some Photoshop work back in the like whenever this movie was made. Like make the woman like look kind of like him.
It should have been a picture of him as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello.
That's how he's going to get in this kid's life. He's going to become the nanny.
Sai, this is you in a wig.
No.
I'm not sure what to tell you, but stay the fuck away from me and my family. What a lovely photo of your mother. Glad I picked that up. None of it really matters. Like that's the,
The fuck is this? This is not how this works.
I mean,
not at Walmart.
No. And yeah, like, do you think there'd be a different area to like unload these? He's wearing like the gas mask and like the gloves and stuff, but nobody else. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
we're dumping these like horribly, corrosive chemicals into storage, but don't tell anybody else that they might need to stay away.
Yeah, the manager's like, I know this guy's a fucking creep.
I'm going to ask for you to come. I'm going to hit the button. Come to my office right now while you're pouring the chemicals into the thing. 'Cause, that's the best time to do it.
What's with the getup? He's the store manager. He would understand everything.
Like, what's with the getup? Like, have you never seen me do this before? Ooh, discrepancies. Or somebody else is supposed to be doing that, I guess.
I don't think you wouldn't be able to easily account for this if he's just taking photos of that one family.
Right. And it's like, really? Never seen one. Well, 10 years. We're talking about hundreds of prints. Like you said, hundreds of prints.
Hundreds of prints of how much does a piece of photo paper cost?
Yeah.
Like a dime. We're talking $10, maybe $15 worth of stuff.
Right. It's, Look, Si, I've got a family. Losing your job over what? What are you suggesting?
I'm not going to get fired as store manager because you stole a few photos.
No.
Not really how retail works either. It isn't just one thing. Like, hey, I saw you yell at a guy, so I'm gonna ruin 10 years of loyalty.
Sure shit isn't company policy. In 11 years. Okay. He's been there for 11 years, which means he's been there. As long as he's been there, he's been stalking that family.
Yeah. Must have been his first customer.
Maybe. Who knows? Where were you before that, Sigh?
Sitting on a bed.
Hello, Kitty.
In housewares, not doing his job.
This is where Ash comes in.
Yeah.
Sigh, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the department.
This is my area.
I'm going to be taking a nap here with Hello Kitty. Don't mind my metal hand. Prints fall out. So he's looking at this print on the floor. It's like,
He's like, what is this?
What is this bullshit?
Just
Somebody
starts
set me up.
berating Yoshi in front of everybody.
Yep.
I fucking told you.
I told you not. Pardon me. Hello. Oh, yes. The camera that I gave away that I got fired for. Right. Correct. That. And...
Especially, like, the weird thing, too, is, like, by this time, people were doing this part themselves.
Right. They would fill this stuff out on their own, too, and just, like, put it in the envelope.
A Dropbox.
Yeah. Well, I guess if it's for, like, 1 hour stuff, maybe, who knows? Are you all right? No. I'm a crazy person, and I'm stalking your family.
Yeah. He's like, get this. My store manager found out I've been stealing your pictures, and then he fired me.
Can you? He actually caught me.
Have you ever heard anything so crazy?
Other than me taking a shit in your house. Drinking
Kid
your
looks
beer.
pretty creepy as well.
Yeah, well, you know, that's why he wants to be Uncle Si. I'll teach you the ways. Come. I'll show you my creepy ways. I'll show you how to stalk a family. But does he, I can't remember at this point, like, did they set him up? Because he found that blank.
I mean, possibly.
Yeah.
I've seen shit like that happen at like in retail.
Yeah, like we got to make something up so that this guy gets fired. Because we can't catch him doing something. We know he's a creepy son of a bitch.
I like how they have them do that like it's aggressive, and it's like most people working the 1 hour photo do that just because they get frustrated with the fucking camera won't open.
Just smash this thing. Oh.
It's like it's a little more complicated.
Just for that.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of more screwdrivers in play trying to get those fuckers open.
Yeah, it would be totally normal to just see him just like take out a screwdriver and a hammer and just smash that thing. The kid's actually not a bad photographer.
He's gonna snatch him by the jacket. These are shit. Like I give you a gift, and this is what you bring me.
You were supposed to bring me a sacrifice. There should be one dead animal on this roll.
I thought we were clear. Naked pictures of your mother.
I told you after the soccer game. I think this is probably one of the things that ruined this film for like, I mean, not ruined the film. I think it's a fantastic movie, but like for people who are Robin Williams fans and maybe not creepy, scary movie fans, like seeing Robin Williams cry.
Yeah, it is a kind of a problem when you have like comedic actors. They do get like typecast. So if you do anything else, it's like, well, he's not being funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's a whole story. Which, when I reach 1,000 followers on Twitter, you're going to interview me about celebrities. That is
Yep.
We made that deal. That's where he recognized the girl from their softball tournament.
He's like, I knew that square jaw from somewhere.
There's actually a moment when Steve Martin was doing an interview at the 72nd Street Y in New York City, and he was talking about a book that he wrote about art. And Alec Baldwin was interviewing him, and people started sending up like complaining that Steve Martin wasn't being funny. And the person who runs the whole thing actually sent a note up to them on stage, stopped them on stage, and gave them a note saying, "Be funny."
Yeah, people don't like that shit. People don't like that. Like Steve Martin only likes fine art now and doesn't like making comedy movies or talking about comedy.
Banjo and talking about art, which he's been a collector for a very, very, very long time. Oh. Now we know what the dealio is.
He is a neglectful husband because he's been like, where is this? You went on a tropical vacation with your mistress and the wife didn't notice?
Yeah. Hello. No clothes in that photo. Bum, bum, bum. Oh.
Doesn't he like throw up?
I think so. Well, it's because also his view of them has been shattered.
Like, get some fucking hobbies, dude.
Yeah, you maybe need to have something more going on in your world than this family.
Like, clearly you like photography so much. Why don't you pick it up as a hobby? Go take some pictures.
Yeah, go, get out there. Maybe don't sit in the room full of chemicals by yourself without
That's what it is. He's fried his brain with
all those chemicals.
Photochemicals.
I'm going to put them in Jake's. I'm going to put these pictures of, is that what he does?
Yolanda. Yeah, he like adds them in.
Whoops. Oopsie daisy.
I had to get pictures for a customer once, and the customer was very upset with me that I couldn't understand that she was saying that her name was Flava.
Flava.
And I was like, "Excuse me?" And she kept going, "Flava." And I was like, "Flava?" I was like, "Okay."
Is that your rap name, or is
like
that just like
first or last?
Can you spell it for me? Because I get a lot, like phone calls from clients, and people would say like they would say their name, and I would just write it however I thought. Like when I talked to them, if they left a message and like said their name, like I would ask them if it was something that generally had a different spelling. I'd ask them, "So how do you spell that?" And like like people spell it. I'm like, well, I'm asking because if it's going on a contract, it needs to be how you spell it.
He should start clearing these shelves.
Yeah, just throw his hands out.
Look how perfect this store is. Everything's zoned up front. Everything's perfectly stocked.
Nothing, like not anything out of place. Well, it's because they've got 800 people working here restocking shelves.
Yeah, not just 2 employees ignoring the customers and shooting the shit.
Right. Which is why they're like, we got to get rid of Cy, the photo guy, for being so, wasteful with the prints.
Look at our immaculate store. We can't have this on our reputation.
Our immaculately overstocked store. Like that's the other thing. It's like nothing. We obviously never sell anything because there is not anything out of place on any of those shelves. like nobody's bought like one cooler or one jacket ever because the minute it's
yeah. Look, don't touch. Not how retail stores work whatsoever.
Nope.
The photo guy would not have a key to the sporting goods cases.
By the way, Cy, in case you need to get some knives or guns or anything like that, here's a key to that. Just in case, anybody ever comes over to the photo department and they need a hunting knife or a rifle or some other dangerous implement, you should definitely have a key to all that, just in case. I know that's not your department. As you were, the crack's getting worse. It was a choice.
Oh.
Bum-ba-dum.
He should run his store manager over.
Yep.
Oh, now he's taking pictures.
Yeah. Way zoom in. 500 500 millimeter zoom. Oh, no, that's the
I was going to say, he definitely ain't taking pictures in motion like that.
shutter speed. That's the shutter speed. That's the... Did I just poop myself?
Who set that off?
Yeah. Oh, he's like, who the hell did that? Bum, bum, bum. And she's back.
No one's like, bitch, get the fuck out of the way. You can't just park your car there.
It's a
Run in
fire
and get
lane.
left your kid in the car.
That is a fire lane, and you cannot leave your vehicle there. Yeah, she'd be, like, there'd be trouble. Like, there's also no way she just, like, ran in, and it was, like, 10 seconds, like, running into, to be like, Yoshi over there is not, like, grabbing her. She has to pay for it.
Yoshi's efficiency game's off the charts.
Yeah, apparently. That's why you always choose him in Mario Kart. Whoa, shit. Oh, I just happened to be pulling up next to you. What's going on?
Yeah, I'm just stopping on the side of the freeway as well.
Are you quite all right? Dum, bum,
Well, yeah, Junior just saw pictures of Daddy getting his fucking weenie whistled.
Mom, what are these? Isn't that Aunt Moira? Maya? I mean, Maya was her name. I knew he was emotionally neglectful as a husband and a father, but
yeah,
this kid is just like, what? Hey, sigh.
She's like, what are you doing taking pictures of your father like this?
You were there.
You're not my son.
You knew about this and didn't tell me? You took these photos and...
Pulls him out of the car, starts beating him. Robin Williams is like, oh no, what have I done?
Went the wrong way. Totally did not see that happening. And I'm just going to stare some more.
Imagine that. Just serving the man that you know is cheating on you. Fuck that.
Zoom in. Yep. Oh, that's obviously the shutter speed, that number. He's got the flash on, though. Don't shoot with the flash on. They'll see the flash outside.
Just better crack him in the face with this bowl of spaghetti.
What?
It's like, I can't believe it.
Some people will live lives of quiet desperation.
You just find out that they have like an open relationship.
It's like, I was supposed to be there.
Yeah. That's my girlfriend.
It's supposed to be a three-way. He promised. I've got another story for you.
Hell yeah.
Around 1999 or 2000, I was dating this girl. She cut school to go to the beach with a friend and her friend's cousin. So we went to Sunset Beach in the Santa Cruz area. From the parking area to the beach, there's a sand dune that you have to walk over to get to the beach. The dune runs along it for some distance. On the dune, there's this tall beach grass that grows up, and it's about waist high. My girlfriend at the time and her friend pulled some of the grass and were messing around pretending they were lightsabers. And my friend's cousin snapped some pictures, and when they developed the pictures of them doing their lightsaber fight, you can clearly see a person in the background standing in the grass. But you can only see him from the head down to about chest level, and you can clearly see that he's frowning and very upset. You cannot see his pupils. His eyes are completely black. It's a weekday and a school day, so the beach was pretty empty, and she did not recall anyone around them. It wasn't like a shadow figure. It was definitely someone there, and you can tell there's an expression on the face. Oh, I think I lost you again. Oh, mine's not starting. Oh, it is starting. It's just a long dissolve.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. I don't know what that has to do. What is, like, his eyes are bleeding because he saw this horrible shit? Like, is that the
guess.
analogy?
I'm not quite sure. Wait, is he in their house? Yep.
I guess he didn't know the return policy. He kept that toy for himself.
That's why things got. Maybe that's why he got fired. Guess I gotta peel all these fucking photos off the wall now.
He's just drawing over his face. I don't think anyone's ever asked for this, a shower scene featuring Robin Williams.
A big part of it is just removing the hair from the drain at the end. I look kind of like a clown with a little...
Yeah, I didn't even look for that. He's had a button-up shirt on for most of the movie. You get a look at those forearms, see if it matches the head. They tame those werewolf arms of his. What year did this come out? Like 2003?
I think.
Yeah. Like 2 years later, everything was digital. That's pretty creepy. Got the family on his keychain.
The dad. Well, maybe that's from before. Do 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 do. This is a. Now I'm a customer. Better do a really good fucking job. I'm going to ask you to get creeped out by the fact that I'm taking pictures of one of the other customers, obviously in their home against their will, or without them knowing, not against their will, but not with their approval.
Yeah, see, this part would not happen either. Where he's like, you can't shop here. It's like, yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's... You just kind of fuck with me. Just this one time. Actually, you know what? There's nothing... what did I do that, warrants you, banning me from the store? This is just you thinking, keep an eye on that guy. Because that's always what happens when the store manager, makes a little, gives a high sign to the security guard.
Yeah, that's something you see a lot in movies and TV. Armed security guards at, a Walmart. It's like, that shit don't exist.
It's Joe, Joe the security guard, who's just like, what? Huh? Who are you pointing? And he'd be like, who are you pointing at? That guy over there?
A company like that would never trust the people with that much liability. They could shoot a customer.
Is it the anal sex guy again? Because I want to see those.
He's like, this fucking guy's nothing but trouble.
There's a reason I banned him from the store. Bum, bum, bum. Wait a second. Aren't these... It's just a small child. I'm zooming in. Mother.
I'm assuming that's his kid. Yeah, I'd break that guy's fucking neck. But also, how have the times have changed? That girl's 5 years old. My 5-year-old doesn't play out in the front yard by herself unsupervised.
Things are a little and maybe it's because of this movie. It's because of this movie right here.
Way to go, creepy Robin Williams. You've ruined it for everybody.
You made it. Oh, Eric LaSalle and Clark Gregg.
I can't believe Eric LaSalle's never in more stuff because he.
Yeah.
Does he? Because I think the last thing I saw him in was Logan. He was in Logan. But I always love him when I see him pop up.
I wonder if Clark Gregg is Phil Coulson in this movie.
He's dressed exactly like him.
He's like, sorry, I'm just here from S.H.I.E.L.D. Pardon me. I'm not a cop.
Yeah. What type of powers does this albino man have?
I heard there was a weirdo. Oh, you don't mean like powered weirdo. Okay. It's understandable, but how do you take being fired? So he was fucking with you? He knew you'd see these photos? We take no chances in this. Did he say country?
I think he said county, but it's like, you're not a sheriff. You're a police officer. You're just for the town.
You may come back for the photos? Mm-hmm. If he's stupid enough to come back here, he'll never make it inside of the store. We'll kill him in the parking lot. Got a search warrant. They got a like this and kill that TV. You hear a gunshot.
Yeah. Shut that fucking dog up. It's like, well, would you look at this?
It looked
hell of a family he's got there, Bob.
Interesting. Dun dun dun. Wow. Yikes. This is definitely not the wallpaper that was here when he moved in. He is not getting his deposit back.
Yeah, this was strictly forbidden on his lease agreement.
I mean, I said he could put some photos up, but this is being a little ridiculous, if you know what I'm saying. Vanderzee.
They're like, this guy's definitely a fucking serial killer.
Hey, Dan, take a look at this. What you got? More creepy shit? Yorkin. You better save the Yorkins.
They don't tell you this information at hotels.
It's also like, what room are they in? Oh, I don't know. Then you can't contact them. That also has changed over the years. I mean, I guess maybe back then you could have, like, I'm calling for somebody. My thing is, like, and they will call up for you. Like, when I go when I'm photographing weddings and I show up at a hotel where somebody's getting ready, I go to the desk and I say, I am here for the such and such wedding. I have no idea where, it's like, they may have told me what room they're in, and if they do, I will say that's the room I'm there. And they will always call up to the room before connecting you or like letting you go upstairs. Because of psychos like this.
Yeah, creepy assholes.
This one movie by Robin Williams changed a lot of things for people. Oh, that's right, John.
Now this is the point where he'll dress like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello.
Yeah, room service.
Hello. And at the same time, it's a psycho / Doubtfire crossover. Like he's in the shower and like there's the sound outside.
Well, I mean, it's the same movie. He is infiltrating a family in that as well.
That's what he was doing before he became a photo guy. This is after Mrs. Doubtfire. And like things went badly and like the kids were taken away and like his acting career didn't, tanked. Wasn't he an actor, a voice actor in that movie?
He's like, voice actor.
He's just trying to find another family. Not too high of a floor. I mean, like, conceivably where somebody could survive if they fell out the window.
Like, what do you need a room for?
Yeah,
Just go up
5.
there.
Yeah. I'll try him right now. It's an emergency.
She's not like, hey, just so you know, I just happened to find out my husband was cheating on me yesterday.
Right. And photos that...
This guy definitely slipped into my
Right.
kids' pictures.
Just so you know, maybe you should be looking for Maya Burson, because that's who he's been banging. Like, she doesn't mention that stuff at all. Maybe she's like, perhaps Sai will take care of my problem for me.
She's like, I'm no detective, but I think these things go together.
Might be a good idea to, have eyes on him. As your son has...
I'm pretty sure a mother wouldn't need to be told that.
You'd have been on that, like, immediate-
I think it's a good idea. Your son comes home. There's a stalker out here that
like, I'm going to give
wants to hurt your
the
family.
phone number, and like you send a police car over there to bring him to my house. Okay, does that sound good? I brought your photos for you. Glossy.
That's not a dead giveaway of who it is.
Did you leave any evidence? Well, all we've got is this sticker from a photo developing place. Not sure who it could have been. I mean...
Like, was he just walking around with that loose sticker in his pocket?
Yeah. Room service. Are you that land shark? No, ma'am. I'm a psychopath photo developing guy. Here to stab you. Oh. Well, as long as you're not that shark.
Smash!
And stabbed. Penis. Boobs.
I know, I remember the first time I saw this movie, I was like, I can't believe they're showing all this.
Get on the bed. Get on the goddamn bed. I want to see you get to it. Did I tell you to cover yourself?
You get the picture.
Yeah, that's like a Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dr. Freeze.
Yeah.
You
Cool
know,
off.
The dinosaurs, the Ice Age. Get the picture. Well, wasn't Robert Williams attached as the Riddler for a while?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was a very interesting theory. Like they in the 80s, Warner Brothers used him to get Jack Nicholson to be the Joker by telling Jack Nicholson that they were going to give it to Robin Williams. But they never had any intentions of giving it to Robin Williams. So he didn't make Warner Brothers movies for the longest time because he was like, fuck you. Like, and then, yeah, he was going to be the Riddler in Batman Forever, when it was going to be Tim Burton originally. Of course.
Yep. The person in the room is not available. They are stabbed. That's the honest voicemail messages. The person in the room you're trying to call is being stabbed.
When she's crying, she looks like
Yeah.
Julianne Moore.
She's got the same shaped face, and she's redhead. No touching.
I never really got this. Like, what is he taking these pictures for?
To really, like, some graphic evidence of them having an affair. Something like,
oh, this will make her leave him.
I guess. I've seen enough of this by the dean from Community, like his work, to know how to stage these scenes. It's a little, you guys are a little stiff for me. I need a little bit more fluidity in your acting. You're not doing it the right way. You don't look happy about this.
Maybe put the knife away.
You don't look happy about what you're doing. Maybe it's you, like, threatening me with the hunting knife. I don't know, but I just can't get relaxed right now. Like, he's having a little trouble getting it up at the moment. It's a little performance pressure.
She's not going to notice that, like, you took pictures of her trying to blow my limp husband.
He seems genuinely frightened at the moment of you trying to give him a blowjob.
Yeah, what? Why is he crying?
There seems to be something wrong. Fire.
Who's going to develop those pictures for you, Si?
Who's going to develop my pictures now?
Because they also do that. They're like, oh, that guy, you know.
Eric LaSalle brought it up.
The guy from Community. It's like, oh, yeah, we just developed his pictures, even though he takes graphic pictures. It's like, if you try to have nudes printed, they just throw them away.
Vanderzee and Outerbridge. These are actually, I feel like this guy, when he wrote this, like, those are bridges in around New York. That's why he says in the beginning, like, oh, you developed those photos. And he says, Eric LaSalle says they developed the photos. They were in his camera.
Oh. It's like, fuck. The jig's up. How were they on to me?
Surprising how they're on to me now after I left them a trail of breadcrumbs. It's actually, I left them a bunch of different loaves of bread. Not crumbs at this point. You know what you should do? You should go to my house and find all of the stuff, all the creepy shit I had there. Also, not how that would work.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. CRT TV.
It's real heavy. It's the kind that you can drop on somebody's head and kill them.
Kill a man with one of those. If only you weren't an albino, you wouldn't stick.
Just stand next to the wall. You blend in. Bum, bum, bum.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is another reason I haven't watched this movie. Eye injuries or anything like this. This part of this movie, like, made me so freaked out. Like, they're talking about the, like, cutting people's eyes open and stuff. Just that shot of the razor blade next to somebody's eye.
Yeah. Ugh.
Looks like he left some evidence.
Yeah, camera, knife with your fingerprints on it.
I just left a few things here. He's running so odd. Like, he's really... Robin Williams, man, this... he's keeping like the physical aspect of this character, like even into their running. It's like chick 5'11".
Yeah. He really must have got into this. He's just running like fuck.
Bravo.
Fuck.
Bravo.
Now jump off the side like Batman in The Dark Knight.
It's not Batman.
Looks like the same parking garage.
That's Batman. Batman doesn't wear, what is it, football pads? Hockey pads.
Yeah, hockey pads. That face.
I thought the police said freeze. I said don't move.
Yeah.
He looks more albino-y in
Guess
that.
I'm caught. Yeah, with the bright light on. It's like, you can't see me. I've become translucent.
Dun, dun, dun. Miss Person?
You weren't forced to pretend blow a guy, were you?
Have you been... Dun, dun, dun.
Come on, you ever seen New Jack City?
Yes.
Well, he should totally use that iced tea line. I want to shoot you so bad, my dick is
that was
hard.
just in something. That was just in... that's in... I just watched John Dies at the End.
Oh,
Yes,
is that
he
in
says
that?
it to,
I haven't seen that.
Somebody goes, are you familiar with the... He's got Doug Jones's character is like in the back seat and he points the gun at him. He's like, are you familiar with the line, I want to shoot you so bad my dick is hard?
It's the best line in movie history.
No, I'm not familiar with that. Well, you will be.
How Ice-T made a song about killing police officers and then did nothing but play police officers for the next 35
there's
years
a
of
little
his
irony
career.
there. There's a little bit of irony in the old Ice-T. Yeah, I'm on Law and Order SUV. It's SVU, Ice. Whatever.
We found this guy.
Apparently, he's alive. But
This is how he's going to explain it all away. Honey, you don't understand. He made her blow me.
he made us do that.
He set this
stuff.
whole thing up.
It wasn't me. Like,
He sent us on that tropical
Yeah.
weekend.
you look a lot happier in these pictures than you do in the hotel photos. I'm just going to say there's...
Don't say anything. Don't be like, you're safe now. We have him.
Eric LaSalle's like, I'm going to let you guys work this out. This is all on you.
He's just like, fucking white people. Closes the door.
Clark Gregg was like, what, do I have to explain this one? And he's like, no, I'll take it.
They got what they deserved.
He cut his penis off. I guess you can't ignore it now.
The end.
Dun, dun, dun.
He's like, yeah, that's about right. That's what happened.
Yeah, pretty much.
You really pieced that together. You are a
Good
detective.
job. Well done. You're quite the detective. You really had to stretch yourself. Do you have any children so that I can stalk them too? It isn't any of my business. Actually, it was my business a while ago, but I used to take people's pictures and develop them, so I knew everything about your family. You let me into your lives. That's, I think, one of all the other creepier things about this is that, like, that those people who were developing your photos saw so much of your life. Was he abusing his kid, though? Like,
well, I'm wondering if this is like bleeding into
life.
his.
Yeah, I think that this is all about his own growing up and why he doesn't have any pictures of his actual family. Yeah, obviously.
I'm pretty sure if your like parents like molested you and took horrible photos of you, the last line of work you would be in is developing pictures.
Yeah, like you wouldn't, especially, and especially,
you know what I love? Photography.
You wouldn't be so like little smirky face when like the pornography guy comes by. Like he'd be a little bit more set off by that dude. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean,
like
definitely
that guy would also, like, if you're talking about like make this darker, let's go with the gritty reboot of 1 Hour Photo. Like he kills the pornographer guy, obviously first. Like we find out later that he killed him. Like,
yeah, you could totally make this much creepier and have it. Yeah, he has all their addresses and all this.
He knows where everybody lives. Again, we're making this way creepier than it was, but it's still a creepy ass movie.
It's like now you're going to get 12 hours of community service.
Mm-hmm. I, was just wondering about my composition. It's hard to get like really good lighting when you're just working with an on-camera flash. It's just things come out a little bit flat. But
it's like the lighting in my room was all wrong. It's like, and this is the one where I forced her to blow him. But
it's not. I actually didn't take any pictures of that stuff.
He's like, that roll's hidden up my butthole. You'll never find it.
I'll never tell.
This fucking guy's off his rocker.
Eric LaSalle is like, this motherfucker was weird.
He creeps me the fuck out.
Can you guys just let me out of this room right now, please? I'd really like to be out of this room. Anybody? Can somebody let me out? Somebody press the button. Thank you. Crossfade.
What song's playing right now? Like
Probably.
Wind Beneath My Wings? Photograph by Nickelback.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, I get... I don't know. I'm trying to think of some sort of like... Make me a part of your family. All right, Josh.
There it was.
This is a creepy fucking movie.
And you never find out what happens to him.
And I have two more creepy stories for you. And one of them is very much in line with this film. Hey there, listeners. Do you enjoy podcasts? Of course you do. You're listening to one. But Who knows? Maybe you're listening to this podcast because you're being held hostage by an interdimensional being who only plays extremely niche content to their prisoners. But if you do like podcasts, you should check out the GoodPods app. GoodPods is an award-winning podcast app that is basically the social media for podcasts. You can see what podcasts your friends are listening to, directly recommend episodes to your friends, bookmark specific episodes to listen to later, and follow and chat with your favorite podcast hosts, as well as fans of shows you like. Another great aspect of GoodPods is that they have indie-only podcast charts. As an independent podcaster myself, I can't tell you how nice it is to see your podcast actually charting when you don't have to compete with giant podcast networks with big advertising budgets or who cross-promote on hundreds of different shows. So go download the GoodPods app, find and follow The Nerdy Photographer, and leave a rating on your favorite episodes. You don't have to leave a review. Just 5 stars will do the trick. Or, if you're feeling especially generous, you can leave a little something in our tip jar over on GoodPods. That's right. We have a tip jar. I got a tip for you. Don't take any wooden nickels. And go download the GoodPods app.
My name is Paige, and I'm the host of Reverie True Crime. Reverie means to daydream, but even daydreams can turn into nightmares. Join me as I tell you haunting and horrific reveries about missing people and senseless murders. I also interview survivors and people seeking justice for themselves or a loved one. New episodes come out every Monday morning, and sometimes you'll get bonus episodes on Thursdays. Wherever you're listening to this current podcast right now, you can find Reverie True Crime.
And this person said, I don't think this is very spooky, but I never did solve it. I was living alone and I would find random pictures on my memory card that I didn't take. At the time, I was using my camera a lot, downloading pictures multiple times a week. The first one I noticed was a picture of a bedroom that I didn't recognize.
Oh,
It
shit.
was in the middle of an outdoor lake sequence that I did a couple of days prior. Like, it just shows up in the middle of the photos from a shoot that they had done a few days before. The EXIF data, which is like the stuff that gets embedded in a digital file, like it tells you like the time and, date and like camera settings, was from the exact same time as the lake photos. A few days later, I see another random room I didn't recognize, but this one had some motion blur to it. I started saving these odd pictures in a separate folder because every once in a while I'd find a photo that I didn't take on my camera. I lived alone. No one was borrowing my camera. It stayed in my apartment. And about 6 months after I noticed the first one, the photos stopped appearing. I had about 20 of them saved, and they were all interior spaces that I had never seen before, and they all appeared to be different rooms. I put them all in Photoshop, tried some filters and things, but it didn't reveal anything. There were no interesting details. There was nothing hidden in the photos. There were no people. It was always empty rooms. There's zero chance that someone took my camera and snapped one picture without my knowledge in the middle of a photo shoot that I was doing. And like I said, sometimes they were in the middle of sequences. A while later, the hard drive that I had saved these photos on failed, and I lost them, but I never figured out what the hell happened.
Finally. Jesus. That was crazy. That was fucking crazy.
Back on my mic. It is a crazy story because that person is obviously like went through and was like, where the fuck did this photo come from? I'm going to check like the data that says like this picture was taken. And it says like it's showing up because normally when like as a photographer you take the pictures from your photo shoot or whatever, and you usually arrange them by the date that they were like the time they were taken, like whatever the timestamp is. So like, and you're sitting there and you're looking through like, oh, I went out and took some pictures of this lake or this whatever, and then there's just like a room from a completely different, like a place you've never seen, just like showing up in the middle there, like that. That creeps me.
Yeah, what you got there is a Japanese camera demon, like in that movie Shutter.
Oh, Shutter, yes, not Polar. The one with Joshua Jackson.
Joshua Jackson, yeah.
Yep, what you got here is Japanese camera demon. Sorry about that. You might want to change cameras. So, we'll get a little of useless information for you for this. Well, before we get there, like, what did you think of this movie? Like, let's do like just a quick thoughts on this.
Oh, this movie's fantastic. If you like creepy shit, like this is the movie for you.
Yeah, and it's a creepy movie without gore. There's no gore in this. There's no like jump scares. It's just disturbing. It is.
Yeah, everything about it is purposely off-putting.
Right. Everything about his personality, everything about like, and you just don't know what happens in the end. Like you just like and maybe that had something to do with it too. Like it's creepy is one thing, but there's also like the end of it is just you have no idea what happened.
Yeah,
you're left.
Yeah, I was very shocked because they like promoted this like it was going to be like kind of like a slasher,
right? Almost.
So when you get to the end and he didn't actually even kill anybody, I was like, well, I thought he was going to kill those people.
Did he or didn't he? Because we never see what happened to Maya, and there is blood in the...
Yeah, she was in the shower.
No, I thought that was blood, though. It was just her by herself?
Yeah, she was just sitting in the shower.
Okay.
Traumatized from being forced to blow her boyfriend.
Hey, and now for my favorite part of the show. What's that say? Useless information. This is always death.
I'm taking pictures of it. No, I'm actually not. If I didn't take the photos, did it actually happen? So, our useless information for this episode is, in the late 90s, how much do you think per year the 1 hour photo business industry was?
High. Let's say $1 billion.
4.5 billion.
Yeah.
$4.5 billion industry in the late 90s. That's even like the data I found is 97. So that's 5 years before this movie came out. I'm guessing, we're still on the cusp before digital there. It's easily that much, if not more. At that point. And this is from a New York Times story in 1987, and it's referred to this as the rise of 1 hour photos as, quote unquote, the instant gratification society. I mean, and look at where we are now. It's like, I got to get it on my phone. I got to get it on Instagram. I got to get it it's got to get posted.
Just think about that. Like you're making like billions of dollars a year, and then like
it just drops out.
Less than 10 years later, your company's out of business.
Yeah, I mean, and it just turns, like I said, like now it's all just kiosks. Just kiosks that print stuff for you. Like, you put your memory card into it anymore. And like, I send stuff to, there's still many, many professional labs out there that will create an archival quality print. And that's the one thing I try to tell people is like, you go to those kiosks, you're like a Walgreens or a CVS, whatever, like, can't guarantee it. Like when I talk to my clients and say, hey, if you take your photos there, you can do it. I allow them to do it. But if you take it there, I can't speak to the quality that you're going to get. Whereas anything you order from my professional labs is going to last.
Yeah.
The quality is there and it's going to last. But yeah, just to think like in probably like 5 years after that movie was made, I definitely was I was shooting film at that point when that movie was made, but I was like kind of like getting out of it already. Like I was already shooting like a hybrid between film and digital. And within 5 years after that, I was like totally digital. And that whole industry was gone for the most part.
Yeah, I like I said, I was working in electronics at Walmart, and I like watched all of that happen. Like I watched like Polaroid go out of business and all this shit. Like all these companies that had been the biggest companies my entire life, just being like, nope. Like we kind of shot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah, creating this technology, the digital technology, so that people didn't need us anymore. Which I'm sure, like, I mean, I wonder if you could remake this movie, in the digital age. I don't think it would work.
You could do it. You just had to like set it in the 90s.
Yeah, it still had to be set back then. It doesn't work as well. Like, there's no other way unless they're. Yeah, I can't think of any sort of job that somebody could have. All right, I got one more story for you.
All right.
I was out taking northern light photos at an abandoned barn, and I walked into a full-on cult sacrifice of a horse.
Jesus. Is that the whole story?
Then they followed me through the woods as I was trying to get away. And that was it. That's the story.
Oh, no.
I was like, I'm glad you made it out.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
That is like, what? There was another one that I thought was funny that there was somebody put on there, like, I got in a fight with another photographer on the top of a mountain. And I was like, is this a Highlander situation?
Hell yeah.
Is it like they're going to be the only one? He's like, well, no, this guy was obviously like, he was unstable and like, we're in a dangerous location because, you could fall off like a cliff or some shit. And he was just like, was pissed at me for like, being in his spot when he showed up. And I was like, hey, like I'm almost done or whatever. But he wanted to fight me. And like, I was like, I got to get out of here without getting killed accidentally or on purpose.
Yeah.
Like, it could fall off of the side of this mountain. Yeah, that's definitely, it's not like spooky, like scary, but definitely scary. Josh, yeah, thank you very much for being on here, being on the
Hell yeah,
podcast.
Buddy.
We'll have to do it again sometime. Tell everybody where they can find your podcast, For Nerds by Nerds.
Yeah, we are on Twitter, FMBN Podcast. We are on Facebook and Instagram, FMBN, the number 4 and the letter U. If you've never listened to our show, you might as well start with one of Casey's episodes. He came on for Highlander. He also came on for Galaxy Quest. 2 very good episodes.
Great movies.
We're going to have him on again soon for a little bit of blood sport.
Kumite.
It's going to be awesome.
Great. I'm looking forward to it. Again, Josh, thanks for being on, and I'll talk to you soon.
Hell yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed watching 1 Hour Photo with us. Isn't that movie just so creepy? And I think what makes it worse is not knowing what the outcome is. So good. Thanks again to Josh from 4 Nerds by Nerds for being with us. You can find them at FNBN Podcast on Twitter and at FNBN4, the number 4, U on Instagram and wherever fine podcasts are distributed. Be sure to subscribe to The Nerdy Photographer and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, or GoodPods. GoodPods is a great place for us to get ratings and reviews because they have an indie-only chart. And if we could get some ratings there, I'm sure we would be climbing those indie charts in the art section. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Reddit at The Nerdy Photo. That's at The Nerdy Photo. Okay, that asteroid is getting really close to the ship now. There appears to be a face on it in the stone, and it's looking at us. And it seems to be mouthing some words. I think it's saying,
"Who's that coming back to town? You better start listening. Who's your heartbeat beating about? You better listen."
Howdy, listeners. I just wanted to take a moment to highlight another great review we received recently. This is a review from Jim. Jim says, I have fallen in love with this podcast, and now I can't go without it. I started at the very beginning, and although my experience with photography is non-existent and basically just how I can use my iPhone to get better pictures, Our hero of nerdiness and photo genius gives great advice. The humor and attitude of this amazing podcast kept me listening even though I don't own a camera. Thank you so much, Jim. Reviews like this one help the podcast a lot. The Nerdy Photographer is an independent podcast, and we need all the help we can get. And reviews help with our rankings on various podcast directories, including Apple Podcasts, exposing us to more new listeners and helping the podcast to grow. You want the podcast to grow, right? Yeah? Then get out there and leave a review. I might read it on one of our future episodes. How about that? Interactive podcasting. Wave of the future.